Hi, I'm Debbie Cronister. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm here to show you the rest of the some of the paper pumpkin cards that I made, the alternates. This one is the number 6 or 7, 7, 8, 9. I'm doing 7, 8, 9. So this is number 7, and so let's get started. On this one, I used the Wonderful Thoughts, the Hello from Wonderful Thoughts, and I use the scalloped contour dies. So let's go ahead and put this together. Trying to figure out where I put it. Here it is. Okay, here we go. So we'll move that one out of the way. The inside of this card is this. This is the inside of the card. That's what you would write on if you were sending this card out. So I am going, it's cut at 5 by 3 3/4. And I'm just going to attach that to a piece of basic black. The black really makes the color pop on these. Actually, this is not. This is cut a little bit different. This is 5 1/8 by 4, or 3 7/8, because I wanted just that little bit of an outline there. And that's going to go inside the card. This is a Z-fold card. So we're going to fold it over. And then we're going to fold this back. We'll just give some pressure there on that. Okay. So that makes this is going to go inside the card. So we're going to go ahead and put that in the card. Just like that. Okay, then for the front, this is the far left flap. Is where in my instructions I refer to that. So for that, we have a piece of basic black and another piece cut out of that beautiful paper pumpkin card front. The nice thing about it is it really gave us 18 panels to work with, which was amazing to have that much of the color to work with. They were a little different, each one, but there were 3 of each one. So that gave us 6 of each design. Okay, so I'm going to attach this here on the front and on the far left panel, the front of the card. All my measurements are, you will find the measurements and a free project sheet under stampwithdeb.com. So these two are cut and they're exactly the same size, but I wanted a little bit to show. So I cut from the bottom left corner diagonally across to the top right corner. And it really doesn't matter if it's straight or not, because you're not going to see it. Well, you will. You'll see it on the inside of the card. So try to make it a little bit straight. Okay, and then we're just going to attach this to the back of the white. And so I'm just going to put some adhesive there, maybe a little there and a little here. And then just lay this in here so that it almost looks like a shadow. And then this one will go on the other side. Whoops, I'm losing it under there. It's going underneath the card. Okay, just like that. Okay, and then we're going to put the flowers on the front. Now that is a little sticky on the back, so you want to be careful where you do put that adhesive. Although this is going to get adhered to the front of the card, so let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to put some adhesive, get my silicone mat, and just put that right there. And we're going to stick this in here. And I'm going to fold that up and make sure that it's centered top to bottom and right to left. So we can go a little higher. There we go. I have glue on my hand. Okay. And then these are the flowers that were in the kit. And so I am just going to leave them like they are. And I have a little tag here. Here it is. Try to escape. Okay. And we're going to stamp the hello from the Unbounded Love on that in Tuxedo Black Memento. Just like that. Okay. And now what I'm going to do, you want to make sure you stamp that before you put it on. I am going to attach, and I just stamped it on the back. You guys know there's a front and back to most of these die cuts. When we die cut them, there is, because what happens is it curls around, it curls downward when you cut it. And so that is got a really rough edge there, you can see there, and that has a nice smooth edge. So we want the back, we want the greeting on the front. I am going to attach these to the back of this hello. So I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive across the top of that and just adhere that just like that. And then I'm going to put these on my card with dimensionals. So let me grab my dimensionals. I cleaned up my desk and I must have moved everything. I have some in here in my stash in my drawer. Okay, so we'll put some dimensionals on the back of that. Boy, I didn't even put that on there straight, but it's okay. It's not going to show. Unless my flower is lean. Okay. And just remove those papers. And then I'm just going to attach this to the bottom here. And I am going to put some glue on this because I want it to stay down so it doesn't get torn going in and out of the envelope. So I'm just going to put a little dot of glue up there. And then you open. Just right up there, maybe a little bit on the back of here, and a little bit on this leaf, just to keep it in place. And just hold that down there for a second. Okay, we're going to finish off by adding some bling to this. And I've misplaced, oh, my bling is underneath my scissors. Okay, let's see if I can do this. So I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool, and I just cleaned it off. Just going to add a little, turn this just a very little bit so that it comes up, and it'll continue to come up. Just with a little turn, it still will continue. And then I'm just going to pick up my bling with that and place it where I want it. Makes it really easy, especially when it works. The problem is the paper I have it cut on is such a tiny little paper that it's plastic. And I'm going to add my bling a little different this time. So I put the two on the hello and then one up top. Okay, so that's card number 7. Yeah, 7. Okay, card number 8. For this, I'm using In the Moment, which is a retired stamp set. I'm using the greeting, You're in My Thoughts. Out of that, I have a lot of retired stamp sets. If you're interested, let me know. I do believe this one is completely retired, so I could sell it. It's a very beautiful one. So, yeah. Okay, so this is number 8, and you can see it's all cut for me. So this is the inside. These 2 papers on the bottom are the inside. That's how I pack my kits. Always the 2 on the bottom are the inside of the card. And then we work our way up. So when you get the stuff on top is usually for stamping and die cutting, if you're doing stamping and die cutting with me. Okay, so that's for the inside. Okay, then for the front, I have a 5 1/4 by 4. I have two pieces. This is cut from the Paper Pumpkin kit, and that's the center. So what I did is I took a card front, and I cut on the left. So let's say this is the card front. You guys can see this. Okay. So I cut it at, no, that's not the left. This is the left. I think the paper was like this. So I cut it at 1 5/8. Then I cut a 2-inch strip out of the center because that's what I really wanted to cut out. So I did a 2-inch strip. And then this is the piece that was left. So I had cut it down to 5 1/8 by 3 7/8 to start with. And then I cut these pieces out of it. I could look right there. It says 3 7/8. Okay, so now we're going to attach these to our 5 1/4 by 4 piece of black. So this one is going to go on the right. I'm going to turn this one so I have it. Will that mess it up? No, that's how it's supposed to go. Okay. So this one is going to go on the right. This one's going to go on the left. Let's turn that. And this one is going to go in the center. So, but we're going to put it on this piece of basic black first, which is cut at 2 1/8 by 4 7/8, or 3 7/8. And okay, now we're going to pop this up. So let's get some dimensionals here. Add those to the back. Okay. And then I have to decide which way this is going. It's going to go this way. And I'm just looking down here at the bottom so that it's just lined up a little bit, overlapping each side. And my black is going to go all the way to the bottom. Okay, lay it down there. Make any adjustments, and boom, we're done. Okay, now we have some leaves here that were in the kit. And I trimmed off, oh, I should have done this before, huh? So I trimmed this at, so it's just as wide as my white. Let's cut that straight now. So I wanted it the same width, so it would have been better had I done that before. And then I'm going to put some adhesive on that. Let me grab my silicone mat. And attach that right down here at the bottom. There we go. And I will put a little bit of glue up here, oops, just to make sure that it stays down. A little bit here. And press that down. This one too, I think, needs a little glue. I have enough on my glue tip here to do that. Okay, now we have a greeting that we're going to do. Where's my greeting? Did I leave it in my envelope? Did I pull my greeting out? Oh, here it is. Okay, this is cut from Happy Little Things, which is also a retired stamp set. And this is one of the dies from it. And You're in My Thoughts is the greeting that we're using. We're stamping with Memento, black Memento. Okay, and I'm going to attach this with glue on the left side, or we'll do it with Stampin' Seal on the left side and a glue dot, a dimensional on the right. And I want my mini dimensionals. I don't want to put everything. Do you guys ever do that? Clean everything up and then you can't find things that you need? Let me grab another package of mini dimensionals. I got them. They were over on my other desk. So I had taken them over there with something else. Unrelated. Okay, so then we'll put a dimensional on this end and just let's peel that off. And we'll attach that right up here. Just make sure I get it on both edges, especially on the right. Okay, and then we're going to attach this to the front of our card. And this is going to go this way. All right, and that is card number 8. Super simple. Okay, card number 9. This one's pretty. This one's nice and soft. It's the lavender, and it just has a really nice feel. It's fresh freesia. I'm sorry. And it just has a really nice feel for Easter, so for the spring season. Okay, so we're going to start with, you guys want to see what the card looks like, huh? Oh, yes, I could have done some work, preliminary work. Okay, so I'm going to start with the 2 bottom layers. Let's put this up here. Oh, I didn't put my bling on that last card. Let's add this bling. And this is the purple shimmer again. And let's see, where did I put it? I put one up here, one in here. And you guys know you're always supposed to do 3, 5, 7, 9s with your bling. And you work in a triangle, but it doesn't have to be an exact triangle. So I don't have to put this, like that. I can put it, this is still considered a triangle. I would be pushing it to go there. So I could put it here, but I'm going to put it right there. So you want to work in a triangle when you're putting your bling on like that. Okay, so let's get back to this one. I have a white card base. I have 2 layers for inside. So I'll just attach those 2 together. Okay, move that out of the way. This needs to be embossed, so I'm going to run over there and emboss it with the mini corrugated embossing folder. So let me just pull that out of here. And where did I put it? There it is. I love this folder. I think it just adds that little bit of what it needs many times. And so this one is, make sure that you have it face up so you see the Stampin' Up! Logo when you're embossing, and line it up along the bottom. And I found that sometimes people have problems with this one. It tears the paper. As long as you keep moving, you're okay. Also, I wouldn't keep moving through the machine. Don't stop in the middle, don't go slow, just go through. I have no problem with it tearing the paper at all. So I am not going to use the Stampin' Seal though on this, because it'll stretch it out. And that's where you may have problems with the paper. So instead, I am going to use green glue. It's also holds better with the green glue because the glue is on the top of that embossing, and that's where we need it to hold. I don't know why. It just works better for me with the green glue. So if you are a Stampin' Seal girl and that's all you use, You can try it, but I find that this works much better. Okay, so we're just going to place this on here, leaving about an eighth of an inch all the way around. And I just want to press that down a little bit. I'm going to stretch it a little. Okay, be careful with the stretching. Okay, then I have this piece of basic white, and you can see I cut this frame out of this. It's good use. Nobody's going to know that it's not there by the time you're done. And to get this frame, I put two of the everyday arches together, but I skipped a size in between because this does cut a little small frame in between. Let me show you the everyday arches. Oops, I took them over on the other table. So let's see, where are they? Oh, of course I would say that, and then I can't find them. Oh, here they are. Okay, so the everyday arches, this one is probably this size. Yes. Okay, so you can see if I went the next one down, my guys are sliding here. If I went the next one down, it would have been this size on the inside, which makes a really narrow arch. And I'm sure there's going to be times that we want that. So what I did is I skipped this one, and went to the next one down, which was this one, because it cuts on the outside edge. So you can see if I had used this one, it would have been really, really, really small. Cuts on the outside edge. Yeah, that would have left me with just a real thin little dotted thing here, and it would have been pretty small. But if you put them together, you can cut them at the same time and get the arch with the opening instead of the solid arch. Okay, this is the solid arch, and this is my arch frame. So just to show you how I did that. Okay, so the solid arch we're going to put right on there, and let's make sure we have the right side. Yes, we're going to put some adhesive on here, and just put that right on there. Okay, and then this one I'm going to pop up once I get all of this together. So I'm going to come along, and this is cut from Linked Together, and this is the front of the card from the Paper Pumpkin Kit. So got one in there. I am going to attach these two together first to start with. Yes, I'm just thinking, do I want to do that? No, I don't want to do that. Yes, I do want to do that. Okay, so I'm going to attach these two together. My brain is working. Okay, that's what I'm doing. I'll attach these two together first to start with. So I'm just going to put some glue here, along here. Some of this is going to get cut off, of course, as I do the arch. So I do want to put some glue in here. I should have my silicone mat under here instead of my paper. Have some glue stuck here. We're just going to put little dots of glue in different places. Okay, now I'm going to attach that to this. And I'm going to center it, just because I'm not sure where it's going to go yet. Okay, then I'm going to attach that to this. And for this, I can use my Stampin' Seal. No, I'm not. That's going to leave a messy. So I'm going to go right on the inside area here. Okay. And then this is going to get attached to this, just like that. I'm going to pull it up a little bit so those little things at the bottom are not showing, because I'm going to trim that off. So then I'm going to take my scissors and I am going to trim this. And I'm just putting them at an angle so they're cutting along the edge, but they're cutting just a little bit inside of it. Same thing up around here. I'm going to cut this. Now you're probably saying to yourself, why is she doing that instead of cutting it with the die? I could have cut it with the die. I could have cut it with that die size that's in between those two. But sometimes we do things, the way we do them. So this is now going to go in here, but I'm going to pop it up on dimensionals. So let's get some dimensionals on the back. Would have given a nicer finish on the back if I had done it with the dies. So if you're a perfectionist, go for it and do it with the dies. Use that die in between and that'll work. I also was doing this for a class, and so when you get to large groups, it gets to be a lot of cutting, a lot of die cutting. And so sometimes it's like, I'm just going to cut and give them a piece and let them work with it. They have to have something to do, right? Okay. Or you have to have something to do when you're in the class. Okay, so these pretty little flowers were cut out of, let's see, where's my set? Here we go. Pretty Florals. Let me grab it. This is a new bundle that's coming out on May 6th, and these are the dies. So I've used this leaf, these dies here. I think I've used this too. So, but they will be out May 6th. But as a demonstrator, we get to order them early. Okay, so I'm going to use my green glue here. And I am going to, oh, wait a minute, let's do it differently. Let's start out with, I'm going to attach my stems, my little flower stems, on here first. Whoops. Okay, let's move this out of the way so I don't get glue all over it. And we'll put this one here. I just want to put those right along the edge of that. This one, same thing. Just put a little glue on there and stick that on there. Let me pull that up. I think these flowers really should have the larger stem. But I did cut the flowers out of the paper pumpkin kit. And they put those little lines on them. I just love it. Okay, so, oh, interesting. I have that one placed differently. Okay, so I am going to put this on. I'm going to put dimensionals on the back of the flowers and a glue dot on the bottom. I'm going to put this one down here because I want to be able to tuck the stem underneath after I get it on. So, and we'll put a glue dot at the bottom. I think we'll have to have a couple glue dots. I'm going to try stretching that glue dot once I put it on. Oops, I'm stuck on a dimensional. I took those off too soon. Let's try this too. Oops. So I'm trying to stretch this glue dot and attach it. Okay, let's put this on right there. Right about there. Sometimes it's just a guessing game. This one I'm also going to put glue dots on. I'm going to move my glue dots over here on this side. They're a little more handy over there. and tuck this underneath here. So I'm going to pull this up a little bit and tuck it under. Did I put my dimensional right there? No, I didn't. Well, you know what? I'm going to pull this one up. This dimensional is not quite attached yet, so and just stick that underneath there and go right on it. Okay, we have a bow just tied with the silver and white. I think we need something there to keep it in place. It's tied with the silver and white ribbon, sheer ribbon. And this one, I didn't even put a greeting on it. It just didn't feel like it needed a greeting yet. Sometimes I like to leave my cards with no greeting, and then that way I can add a greeting when I'm ready to send it. Let's glue that down. I don't know if I got it there enough. Oh, it should be. Okay. I'm pulling it over a little bit because I want it to attach to that purple section just to give it a good, because if I try to attach it to the white, it'll be going downhill. Okay, and then we're going to add some bling. And our bling is right here. I'm going to go one there, one over here, and my third one looks like it fell off. It was down here. All right, that is card number 9. So you will find all the instructions for these at stampwithdeb.com. And if you have any questions, let me know. This is a monthly paper pumpkin subscription that I get, and I do what's called Spice Up Paper Pumpkin. So I take the subscription and I work with it and make as many different cards as I can out of it. And then you are welcome to subscribe. And what will happen is I will use either the stamps in the stamp set, or you can add your own greeting stamps. Everything that needs to be die cut will be die cut for you, and I would ship it off to you in the mail. So if you're interested, there is a place on the blog post for you to ask more questions, or to just let me know that you have an interest and I can get back to you. And that's at stampwithdeb.com. Thank you so much for joining me today. Bye-bye.